Hey everybody, this is my 89 K5 Blazer. I love this thing. I've had it about 12 years. I rebuilt the engine about 2 years ago, and I really haven't had any problems, except for it leaks. I keep getting air inside of this hose, my upper radiator hose, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. I did have a leak over here from the heater core lines, as you can see. But I had a crack over here and I fixed that. I do have heat in the vehicle, but it grabs air and it tries to overheat on me like over time, so I think it's a slow leak that's sucking air in. But I started developing a leak at my thermostat, and I had to rebuild it because I blew a head gasket, and I think maybe it overheated, and maybe this water neck down here isn't flat to that intake. So I'm gonna take that off and sand it down, and I also bought new bolts because I think those threads are stretched. But just to, knock out those issues while I'm in there, I also got a new thermostat gasket, and that thermostat's operating as it should. So I'm gonna take that apart, check my water neck to make sure that it's true, and then check the intake to make sure it's true, sand it down, and then put a new gasket on it, seal it up tight with new bolts, and hopefully this thing will be pliable and not full of air. So let's get to it. Okay, it's at 9/16 on these bolts. And what a mess. All right, and as you can see, got my thermostat in there. I got my gasket on there. Looks like it was centered, and I believe it's leaking underneath the gasket, not on top. So I'll clean this up, and I'll get rid of some of that level that's up there, and take all this out. There it is. Whoop. Get me a better drip pan, I guess. Yeah, so let me get to that. Well, looks like I made a mess. I'm gonna have to clean up tomorrow. I don't know where my turkey baster went. I used to pull that out like my vampire pump, but I do have this auxiliary pump that I've used for fuel and other things. So I'm just gonna suck that out of there and use the vehicle's battery, and hopefully it pumps on up out of there. So we'll see. Put you guys right here, and we'll see if it kicks on. Alright, so I removed my water neck, and there's still some gasket on there. But now I'm going to test it to see if this thing's warped, right? So I'm going to set it on my bumper right here that's relatively flat. And then I'm going to take a flashlight and I'm going to stick it inside of here. And then I'm going to see if I can see it from the side, if I can see light anywhere. So let me turn my overhead light off. It will come in here. And then yep, right there in the front, and it's kind of wobbly. I'll move it over here just to make sure it's not the bumper, and I can still see some right there, so it's not setting flush. And I'll rotate it. And it just sits that way. Look at that. That's insane. So that's probably why it was leaking. Somebody probably over-tightened it. So let's see if I can sand that down and get it flat. Right, so I got this block of wood, and then I have this 80 grit sandpaper. I got a variety pack with sticky. It's just stuck to this block of wood. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to sand it around here lightly in circles until I get this surface smooth. I got 80, 120, and 220, but I'll probably do the 80 and the 120. But yeah, I'm going to do that for a while and see how it turns out, and then I'm going to check to see if the intake side is flat. Well, it already looks better. Let's keep going. Still got some high spots. Starting to look better. Still got some low spots in here though. Is that part of the gasket? Let's see. Whoa. Yeah, it looks like that's low spots and pitting. It's strange. Well, let's keep going until that disappears. Oh, looks like they're starting to come out. Stir it on the top. A little bit more to go. It's real crazy how uneven that is, but it's getting better. What about that low spot right there? Gotta keep going. Almost gone. Right there. And right here, still a little bit. Oh wow, it's sitting way better. Counterclockwise. Pretty good. I can't even feel that anymore. It's still kind of messed up. But hey, we'll keep going and we'll get it right. And then I'll stick the 122 there and I'll get her smoother. Yeah, I'll show you guys when I finish with it. Alright, so I hit it with both sandpapers and it's looking pretty good. I think it's pretty flat. I'll do another test. This spot I couldn't really get out. Started digging out more ruts. I think it looks pretty good. Little spot, got it pretty low. I'm gonna take it in the house and I'm gonna rinse it off and wash it. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. And then we'll check the flatness with the light again. So I've got this. Let me put the light in there. And then when I get eye level, that's me rocking it back. But you can barely see it. And I'm pretty sure the gasket will take that up. And back here, I put my hand back here and I put it down. It's way better than it was. I think the gasket will take that up too. So let me wash this off. And then yeah, I think that's gonna work. I'll wash it off and then I'll check the where it sits, where this sits, make sure that's flat and clean it up real nice. And then I'll put the thermostat back in the gasket and then I'll burp the system. All right, so I was taking a look at these bolts that I pulled out of here, and they're two different sizes. It's kind of crazy. And then so I got new hardware. They're both the same size, and then I went with grade 8 bolts, and I put washers on here. So it didn't. Sorry if I'm shaking. It's a little cold tonight. It's about 27 degrees. And then I used a scratch pad, and I cleaned up my gasket material right there. And there's some pitting here as well, and I checked it with a straight edge, if I could find it. There we go. A straight edge. I checked it and it seemed relatively pretty flat here and here and across. It seems pretty flat, and I cleaned it up pretty well. There's no more gasket material, and I think the gasket will cover that material there. So yeah, let's install the thermostat. So we take our thermostat and we stick it in the hole. Make sure it's centered. And then we get our gasket, which this gasket's pretty normal, covers a lot of years. Part number 35062, it's a Felpro. And it looks like it covers 1980 to 83. 151 engines for AMC, and then GM production 4 V6 V8 19. What does that say? 35? Holy crap! To 95. So, yep, that's the gasket I'm going to use. And then we've got our gasket right here. It doesn't look like it's one of the sticky ones. And that one goes on top of here. And let me dry that off real quick just to make sure that that's dry. Okay, after that's dry, that's centered and it's sitting in its groove. I'm going to take the gasket. The gasket goes on top. It's going to sit right there. I think it's the same forward and backwards, so it really doesn't matter. Yeah, it is, but I like it better this way. We're going to put that on there, like so. Get my water neck. I'll put my water neck on here. All right, I got this kind of snug down. I'm gonna go get my, or check out the torque in the manual, and then I'll torque that down with a torque wrench, and then we'll hook it up and we'll burp it up. Okay, went in the house, and I've got my Haynes manual that I bought when I rebuilt it earlier, but I like this book, and if you don't have one and you're rebuilding an older truck, you should get one, because this is key for things like this. Gives you all your torques and things like that. My torque specification for the thermostat housing bolts are 20 to 30. So I'll probably put them halfway, somewhere with 25 foot-pounds. So I'll go load up my torque wrench to 25 foot-pounds and I'll walk them in. So I'm gonna walk these torques in. I'm at 15 right now. Well, probably need that. And I have this extension on. So that's gonna mess up my torque, but I'll add some more to it. Alright, and there's 30 right here. So there's 30. Alright. And there we go. I got that all installed in there, and then I've got it torqued down to 30, so we should be good to go. So let me put the upper radiator hose back on, and then I'll burp it. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do, we're going to take the radiator cap off. Ugh. Well, take the cap off, and then I bought a coolant fill kit because I'm tired of spilling coolant all over the floor. So I'll open this thing up, I'll put it on, I'll show you guys how it works, and then I'll run it and fill this thing up, and we'll see what's going on. Okay, I got the radiator cap off, and I opened up this kit. It comes with a bunch of different adapters in a bag, right? So you got to find the right size. I found adapter E fits in there. There's a little bit of play. I wish there was a better fit, but that's what came with it. And then you find a cap. There's 3 different caps to choose from. This one fit. So I put it on there. And then twist that around. until it stops. So that's on there. And then you take this bottle and put it inside. And then it's got a plunger in here, and that's what's going to stop it. So I'm just going to leave that sitting in there. And then I'm going to pour some, sorry, here's the plunger. It just goes inside that hole. And you make sure that that's relieved. So coolant can get in there, and then you're going to fill it up and fill up this jug. So I got the pre-mixed 50-50, and I'm going to pour it on in. Wow, that's a pretty good stop there. I'm going to pour that in there until it fills up my radiator. Oh, it looks like it's leaking around that cap like it's not supposed to. Guess I'll have to find a better adapter. Let me look into that and come back. So you have to make sure you grab the right adapter. I need to use adapter A, I think. It's taller. And the O-ring sits in there. And then when I put the cap on there, it's nice and tight. I had a lot of play in there before. So I'll put this on there. And then tighten it down. And then I have no play in there now. Then I'll take the jug. I'll put the jug in there. And then I'll dump some coolant in, and hopefully it doesn't leak out. Try again. Take two. Okay. And I'm pretty sure it's going to take all of that inside. Squeeze this upper radiator hose. Okay. And I have no leaks. Looks good to go. So now I'm going to start the vehicle. Like it's working. Gotta wait until it heats up. It's real cold out here, so I gotta run. I'll get back to you right at the heat cycle. Still bubbling. Let's see what the temp is. There, we gotta get to about 210, 195. We're almost there. We got some bubbles going on, we got some expansion going on. Getting warm. Felt some heat inside the cab. Squeeze some hoses. Let's see. Heater core hose right there. Back to you. Still got some bubbles. Check the temp. thermostat's about to open. Got a bunch of air coming out. I'm gonna squeeze that upper hose. I have to add some more. Well, I'll let this thing run for about an hour. And it sucks some down. I don't see any more air bubbles. The upper radiator hose right here is hot. And my temperature gauge sitting right where it's supposed to sit. Awesome. So now I'm going to shut it off and do the procedure I'm supposed to do. Turn off the engine. And then so you're supposed to let it cool a little bit. And then it says to take the stopper that you got right here, and you have to squeeze your upper radiator hose and hold it, and then you have to put the stopper inside the bucket. You have the stopper in the hole, and then you're still squeezing. You let go, and everything's supposed to be good to go. Okay, so then you remove this with the stopper, and I'm just going to take this and put it in here inside of my overflow bucket. Okay, and it's all up in the overflow bucket. We're done with that. And then it says you can remove this lid right here. And then install your radiator cap, and it should be full. Let's see. Yep, and sure enough, it's full. Awesome. And that's all the way on. And I'll put my overflow bucket on. I guess I'll start it up. I'll see how it runs. For a ride. If I can get this on here. Alright. That's cool. Alright. That completes the repair. I guess I'll take it for a ride. Alright, well, I've been riding around.